everybody, Buddy with Midland, Texas. Got a real interesting story for you today. I'm gonna name it "Found Something Underground" by Walmart. In September 2017, I created a video called "Killing One Homeowner After Another," and somebody reported it, which got me kicked off of Facebook for a week. This video was based on the evidence that I found, which has convinced me they killed Mike Lawhon, the previous owner of my home, before cutting my phone lines and shooting me. During this week, I started getting emails from 5 different email accounts, starting with Keith Terman Landman at gmx.com. He said, "The first time you and I crossed paths was at Wallace's Frost Top in the early 80s. And that's a little restaurant in Hobbs, New Mexico. You would have to be from Hobbs to know that, or being from this area. We in the movement want you to know that we will succeed at all costs. Have a wonderful week without Facebook. And remember, we are always watching, whether it's by drone or camera feed. We see everything." The next group of emails came from Mark P. Jones at cheerful.com. He told me that we'd like to set up a meeting with you and said we would like to hand over information that you could use to benefit you, but keeping both parties at a distance long term. He then asked if he could recruit me to be a headhunter for them and said they pay very well. I'm going to show you that here in a minute. In another email later that night, he mentioned that he was a Kansas City Chiefs fan, which I thought was interesting since I'd found a Kansas City Chiefs cap under the cabinet from where the shot came from. I believe it was left by the people who were pouring concrete and covering up the trapdoor entrance while I was in the hospital. He also said, "So when I was going to medical school back in the early 70s, after my time working overseas for the company during wartime, I was taught how to fake x-rays and miniver bone structure to look different. This seemed important since I have proof that my x-rays were faked at the hospital on the night that I was shot. I believe that was done by still secret Labtech user interface who may be Dr. Hinton. This was followed up by some BS about me working for them in my last mission. I didn't plan on meeting them because I didn't trust them, and I sent screenshots of these emails to a friend who posted them on my Facebook for me. That pissed them off. In May 2018, I got a phone call from Keith Terman, which I secretly recorded. We're going to listen to that in a minute. He had seen my story online and was letting me know it was his email account, but it wasn't him that had sent it. And the reason was he was in jail at the time. He told me that he was told not to look for minerals under the ground by the North Walmart store, but he did anyway and said he found something underground. He said his business partner pulled a gun on him, and then he was framed and arrested by Midland Police Department Officer April Chandler and Detective Williams, who was from my hometown of Hobbs, New Mexico. Keith also told me that he had a PI working for him that found out April was getting large sums of money, like $50,000 at a time. I have proof showing that she lied, that she tampered with evidence and lied on the police reports in the home invasion and premeditated murder attempt to my life. In fact, she spread life-destroying lies about me when I was the crippled crime victim that had been reporting crimes to the police. I consider her as pure evil. And the Walmart stores that Keith was talking about was one of the 5 Walmart stores that was shut down in 2015 for supposed plumbing problems. This made national news with rumors of tunnels and conspiracy theories. The shutdown Walmart stores were in Pico Rivera, California, Livingston, Texas, Midland, Texas, Brandon, Florida, and Tulsa, Oklahoma. What didn't add up is that after laying off 2,300 people and covering up the windows, the store here sat empty for weeks since they didn't have a work permit. Major corporations don't shut down moneymakers like this if they don't have their ducks in a row. They opened back up about 6 months later. I got a lot of views off of videos due to this because I had been shot by somebody under my home with my phone lines cut after reporting a suspected tunnel to the DEA who never looked. My home's about a half mile from that store. It's a straight line from my home to the Home Depot Walmart store. Okay, now I'm going to show you this. Okay, this map from Google Maps here is right here is the Home Depot store, and I'm shot right here behind it. My home's right behind it. And here's that draw, and if y'all remember, they were recently digging right there. It's in straight line to the Walmart store. It's on the other side of the loop here. But here's the Walmart store right there. And so it's only about a half mile straight over there. And I wondered if the tunnels underground homes here didn't have a connection up there. And then here's right off the internet, you know, back an old story. Walmart, no truth to the rumors of tunnels being built to take over Texas. We just shut down laid off 2,300 people for plumbing problems and didn't have work permits. This was the first email from Keith, you know, and there's the date on it, and there's his email address, and that was talking about the Wallace's frost top, you know, which I believe is true. It means he did meet me in Hobbs back 5 years ago, or, you know, many years ago back in Hobbs. And that's when I found out he was a fan of the Kansas City Chiefs football team, and I found that cap, you know, under the cabinet. And then he taught me how to fake x-rays. Well, that seemed important since they faked my x-rays, you know. Mark P. Jones, that was Mark P. Jones. Here's the other one. I'd like to take some time, set up a meeting with you, and we'd like to hand over information that you could use to benefit you. I don't suppose we could recruit you as a headhunter, for instance, and they were going to pay me what they felt it was worth or whatever, you know, for being crippled for life and tortured and slandered and poisoned. Yeah, right. You ain't got enough money. There's April Chandler in my house. She's one of the secret police. April Chandler here, it was Rosie Rodriguez met me at the 7-Eleven store and climbed in my truck, gave me first aid, and then April Chandler said she was the one that did it. They both lied. That was right off the bat, you know. So one of them may be the shooter. And less than an hour later, April Chandler writes, Mr. Webb showed paranoid to the extent he caused himself to suffer a gunshot wound. I caused myself. I caused somebody to break in my home, cut my phones, and shoot me. That's what she's saying. That's probably talking about the trap burglar, you know. And here, April Chandler and Rosie Rodriguez, that's when they were caught on camera. I believe they were planting my stolen cell phone behind my nightstand, you know. And it was stolen. Here's the stolen voice recorder that I told Rodriguez about. I said, there's proof. Go look. There's proof. It proved that burglar alarm was going on my house, and they stole the proof. April Chandler right here is the one that found the voice recorder, said it was checked into evidence, and that was a lie. And here's where she makes up a permanent record calling me a paranoid schizophrenic, you know, and that shows up every time a police officer pulls my name up. And the truth is I was cleared by mental health at the hospital. That was a lie that she made up, a lie. I told you she's evil. And then here, Jeffrey Strain, Texas Ranger Strain, I was told that April Chandler was his personal friend. See, Strain was assigned to my case by the Texas Public Integrity Unit. Here, listen to this video.
I was arrested for aggravated assault. You were correct, but I was framed. I was arrested by a police officer named April Chandler.
Okay, I'm very familiar with her, right?
I've never met her before, but I was doing land work with a coworker. We got more or less an argument, and he stole my identity and pretty much tried to falsify documents in my name. And so when I confronted him, he pulled a gun on me, so I left. And the next thing I know, I'm being arrested by April Chandler and Detective Williams.
Williams, is that it?
Yes, sir.
Okay, I'm not familiar with that.
Well, he's from Hobbs.
Really?
Because I've been to your Facebook. I don't want to freak you out or anything, but
No. I mean, many people. I've had 2 million views on videos. You know, I mean, I just let you talk about April Chandler. You know my story about her, right?
right. And so, well, I was in jail, the county jail. I had a friend tell me that, you know, people were emailing you with my name, Keith Turman.
Right.
And that's impossible if I'm in county jail.
They had your password.
Right. So now, I've got to figure out some way to fight this. I had a private PI, and he did a background check on her. And he found paperwork on her that shows that she's received large amounts of money.
Now, that makes lots of sense, you know, because I mean, I felt like she's on the tape.
But a local cop doesn't get some of the payment of like $50,000 at a time.
There's something big going down here with the, you know, I've had multiple people tell me there's an underground facility near this home. I believe it's connected to the death of the last homeowner, Mike Lawhon. He died 2 weeks before I moved into this home. And then, like I said, I have absolute proof, without a doubt, April Chandler lied on the police reports.
I think there's one under the North Walmart too. And that's where I was doing lock landman work there. And the minute I started trying to lease that out for drilling, for royalties, that's when all this stuff happened to me. I was told to stay away from it, and I didn't.